Uh, and we are live and we're being recorded as well. All right, folks. Hey, Maria, DS, how you guys doing? How you guys doing tonight or this morning? Can you hear me okay? Hey, Tim, how you doing, man? Awesome, 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 awesome. So, oh, hey, Jacobina from Florida. I know you. Hello. The artiste. Fantastique. All right, got Donald, Carlos, Henry, Caleb. All right, you guys hear me loud and clear? Hey, Leslie. Got Shirley, got Linda, Janet. Wonderful. I'm happy to hear that, guys. Fantastic. Well, of course, I am Jeff. You guys should know me by now that since you're here. So you must like me because you're back for the fifth time in a row now. So thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Hey, Helen, how you doing? So awesome, guys. Thank you for coming back. This is Beginners Boot Camp number 5. And yeah, let me just tell you guys, this is going to be a fun one. I actually just came up with the idea this morning. I thought, you know what, you got to get a WordPress theme, you got to get your keyword research, you got to get your content ordered, but what next? Is something simple, but it's something that I catch people doing incorrectly, or at least not as well as they could be every single time, and that is when you get the content, what do you do with it? So what I'm actually going to be doing, and we're going to get started right away here, is I'm going to go ahead and go into my blog, and I'm going to add a new piece of content I just had written for me, and I'm going to change it from maybe drab to fab, I don't know, something clever and creative, but we're going to go ahead and change it from boring to fantastic. That sound okay? And I'm going to show you guys, because you want to keep in mind when someone lands on your website, you maybe have 2 or 3 seconds while they decide if they're going to stay or leave. If you bore them, they're probably going to leave right away. So I'm going to cover on-page optimization, internal linking, external linking, basically how I make my posts look nice, and of course function well for SEO as well. So anyways, this is the post I've got right here. And I actually just got it from iWriter, and I copied and pasted it in here. I have not done anything except add the title up here. And this is exactly how it came. And if let me ask you guys a question, and be honest, how many of you guys get content, that you write it yourself or you have someone write it for you, and you just add it as is and click on publish? Be honest. Or how many of you have before, if not now? All right, I see a bunch of yeses, so thank you for your honesty. I used to do the exact same thing, and let's tell you, let me go ahead and preview this post. Linda's got it right. Obviously, I've got a nice theme, so it looks really nice, but when you look at this content, I mean, what do you think? What comes to mind when you see this? Jenny's got it right. Nah, Maria, not quite. We'll get there. Don't be shy. Feel free to praise it. Feel free to insult it. I don't care. All right, Linda said it's too long, no time to read. We'll fix that. I see ordinary, boring, too long. Boring from Jenny. Yeah, Nora's got it right. It's just bland. It needs headers and images. You guys are learning. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you guys. Yeah, guys, it's just boring, boring, boring ass content. Pardon my French there. And really, it's just not going to engage anybody. And I like what Linda said. It's too long. She's got no time to read it. And it's actually not that long of a post. It's 734 words, but we're going to make it a lot more engaging. We're going to make it more eye-catching, and we're going to make it less boring. So even if it was 3 times as long, people would still want to read it because it's going to look awesome. In fact, I think one of my longest posts is either 3, maybe 5,000 words or so. But I'll show you guys what we do. So this is pretty boring. Let me show you another example of one of mine that I do like how it looks. Let's see here. Where's my Kanye West post? I have that up here. There we are. I was proud of this one. Here's a good example, at least I think so. You guys see the difference? I've got titles, I've got quotes, I've got different colored text, I've got images, I've got links. This is actually a much longer piece than the previous one. And it even looks longer, but if you ask me, if you ask anyone else that's read it, it's a lot more engaging. It's a lot more easy to read. It's easier to skip through and get a good idea for. So it's a lot better because I took the time to make it look nice. And the funny thing is, guys, longer posts, even if people don't read them, they're more likely to get shared. But they're more likely to also skim through it, which is why I've got, like, bullet points. I've got, header text right there that tells what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, exactly. Gary, that said that's better. Janice said it's much better. Tim said it's a huge difference. Absolutely. So what do you guys think? Are you cool if I do that? If I go through and just kind of optimize this one live, take it from text to wow, I guess? Beautiful. I love it. All right. Awesome. So this is the content I just took from iWriter a couple hours ago and dropped it in here. Of course, the first thing I'm going to do is add my title right here. And now, again, as I covered before, if you haven't done so, you want to make sure your permalinks are set up properly from settings and permalinks. And you'll see the option that makes the most sense. I believe it just says post name, but you want to make sure that you have your video title in the URL right here as well. So in my example, it just says easy methods for ranking on YouTube. So the first thing is with WordPress, most of the time it does automatically add an H1 tag for you based on your post title. So a lot of people used to, in fact some probably still do, make the first header an H1 tag. You don't want to do that anymore. It's not really going to be applicable so much now. Now, some themes add the H1 tag or the top tag right above the content. Others add it a bit higher. Let me show you what I mean. And again, the H1 tag, as you guys know, is one of the important ranking factors. So on most posts, the H1 tag will be added right here where that text is. In this case, though, this particular theme I use made the title right here my H1 tag. So again, it depends on your theme, but basically, if my H1 tag was right here, I would not, or I would not want to add a tag at the very top as well, because it would be back to back. It would actually look. I'll show you how it would look. Hold on. See this here, but let's say automatically though. See what I mean? It would usually look like this. And Kathy's asking, how do you know where the theme places it? Kathy, simply preview your post, and you'll be able to see. Usually it might be right here by default, but if it is, again, you don't want to add an H2 tag at the very top because it'll look like this or similar. It looks kind of silly. So in my example, the theme moves it up above nicely, which is nice. So it depends on your theme. So in this case, because my theme does allow for me to do that, I do add my H2 tag right here. If your theme did not allow you to do that, you can always add it, down here or something as well. But it's important to try to get at least one H2 tag in there as well, because it's going to help you out nicely. So does that make sense? Be honest. Basically, for my particular theme, it separates my H1 tag automatically from the rest of the content, while some other ones place it directly above, which kind of looks silly. All right, beautiful. Thank you, guys. Either you're all lying to me, or I just am that good at teaching this stuff. So, and I guess I've been doing it for 3 years this month. So I guess I'm doing halfway decent. So, anyways, guys, this is my post easy methods for ranking videos on YouTube. Now, the first thing I like to do is I like to use different colors to make things stand out. So, and again, this is what I do. You do not have to copy me exactly. You're more than welcome to. I'll be flattered if you do, but this is just what I do because it works for me. You might find something that works a lot better for yourself. So now my writer did a pretty good job. They added, the different headings, overview, use relevant keywords, optimize video tags, etc. So in this example, I don't really have to add those headings there, but you can do a few things. I mean, easy methods for ranking on YouTube. I can make that maybe an H3 tag. And let's go ahead and preview and see how that looks. And yeah, surely, I did make this top one right here an H2 tag. And just to be clear, on any particular post, you usually, with any new theme, you'll usually not have to add the H1 tag. Never add more than one, though. You're more than welcome to add more than one H2, H3 tag, etc. But you want to keep only one H1 tag. Remember that. The rest is just to help people browse easier and for better optimization. So in this case, I'm probably going to make these all H3 tags. It's kind of the first thing I'm going to do here since they did that for me. And I know this might seem boring, guys, but this is exactly what I do with every piece of content I get. And I've got an average time on site, I think it was about 3 minutes on my site, which is pretty good. 3 or 4 minutes usually. People stay on my site and they visit 3 or 4 or 5 pages each. So next, I try to space things up a bit. I used to not do this, but someone mentioned to me that it was hard to really follow things nicely. So next, I'm going to try to space things out a little bit more. And I try to add a space, between every header tag for the most part. Jill's asking about how do tags impact rankings. Jill, generally speaking, when you do any new blog post on SEO or any new blog post on anything, when you optimize for SEO, you want to add your main keyword where? In your title tag, your H1 tag, those are probably the 2 most important places. Next, while it's not equally as important as it used to be, you want to add it to your description tag as well. I do usually try to add at least one H2 and one H3 tag. It's going to make it easier for users to scan through. For example, you can see this now. You can find out exactly what each section is about. So it's going to be giving a benefit to the users. And it's also going to show relevancy in Google as to what I'm chatting or what I'm writing about. And my pleasure. So usually I'll try. In this case, I've got one H2. I've got multiple H3 tags as well. I usually don't do H4s and H5s because they're too small. But if you want to, you're more than welcome to do so if that fits your style. But it's great for breaking things up and for keeping users engaged on your site. So the first thing is, I haven't even read this whole thing yet, but they talk about how much video engagement, how many hours of YouTube videos are uploaded every minute. It's 300 hours, which is insane. And so what I like to do, guys, is, now do you guys understand why we would link externally to another website like Wikipedia or WebMD or even YouTube? Exactly, it's authoritative. Now, essentially, guys, what we're doing is Google wants to know that you want to give your readers the best experience possible. So if I only linked internally to my own site and nowhere else, what would that look like? I don't care about giving users a good experience. I just want to keep them on my site. So what I will try and do at least once or twice per, and this is what you should do, by the way, at least once, if not twice per post, do an external link, meaning a link to a website other than yours, is to an authority site. It can be YouTube, it can be Wikipedia, etc. And so what this does, this shows Google, you know what? I don't care if people stay on my site. I want to give them the best experience possible. Now, of course, we do care, and there's ways around that, which we'll get to next. But 300 hours of YouTube videos being uploaded every minute. Let's see here. Give me a second to scan this. I have not read the whole thing yet. In this case, I could probably link, because people are on my site to learn how to rank videos right now. They don't really care about how many hours it has. So I think in this example, if I were to find a source that talks about this, about how many YouTube videos are uploaded, etc., that might be okay. Now, here we go, youtube.com. Take a look, guys. This is to YouTube's press page. It talks about how many videos get uploaded, etc. So this is going to give people relevant information, but I'm not going to link to a competitor. This could basically take my traffic away. So I'm going to actually do a link to this page. So I'm going to click on the top here on Insert Edit Link. I'm going to paste my link right there. Now, again, if I just click on Add Link and go away, if they click on this, it's going to take them off my site. Do you guys know how I can fix that? It's easy if you don't. You click on this little button right here that says Open Link and New Window and Tab. And then I click on Update. So now, if someone's on my site and they click on that link right there, it's going to open it up in a new window or a new tab, so it's still going to keep them on my site. So right here, guys, that's my one external link. If I want to do more, that's awesome, and I can. You see how that works? Now, something else, guys, what I obviously want to go through and add images, add relevant things. You want to try to add videos when applicable. Let me go ahead and read this real quick again here. Okay, this is all from the YouTube site. If you wanted to, you can even link to Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, etc. But I think we're fine with the YouTube one. It talks about YouTube being the second most popular search engine in the world after Google, and the third most popular site after Google on Facebook. So it talks about YouTube being an amazing channel for marketing. And yeah, Kathy was asking how I keep people on this site. Once again, Kathy, if I highlight my link here, let me show you this. Oops, hold on a second. 1 second, please. Basically, Kathy, do you see this checkbox right here under the link text right there? If you click on that box right there, that's going to tell WordPress that when someone clicks on that link to open up in a new window. That's all you do. You just check this box right here. And so now if someone's on my site and they click on that link, it's not going to take them off my site. I'll show you what it does. Hold on. See this link right here? Let me get my little, right there. If I click on this now, see what I mean? It opens up in a new tab. So this gives people the option to learn more about that, but when they close that, they're still on my page. Pretty cool, right? So that's going to keep people on your site, and you're not going to be getting rid of your traffic. By the way, just off topic, I mean, is this already looking better? I've done nothing fancy so far. All I've done is add a few tags so far in one link, but it's already looking better, don't you think? And you ain't seen nothing yet. So, yeah. And yeah, they would have to close that tab to get back to my site. You don't have to add a return button. I mean, most people know, once they go there, I mean, they can simply close on that tab. And if you look right here, I've got my post right here. I've got my post right here. I mean, if they click on it, it's obvious it opens up in a new tab. They can either click back there like that, or they can just close on that. Most people know better than that. I haven't had too many problems with people telling me they can't get that figured out. So I'd say 99 out of 100 people know that. The rest you can teach yourself. You can teach them that. Get them on your list. Educate them. So let's see here. You know what else I can do, guys? I want to add a picture. Now, pictures, I know I kind of taught you guys briefly last time. In fact, I did teach you guys last time for probably a good hour as to how to get good pictures. But something else you can do is you can get. Now, by the way, I want to read Leslie's comment. Leslie said, "This is fun. I love all this designing, and I love pics and videos." Leslie, so does Google, and so does everyone else like you. You want to make your site engaging. You want to keep people on your site as long as possible by giving them relevant videos, pictures, etc. And in turn, Google's going to reward you with basically better rankings and more traffic, which is kind of cool. So in this case, I'm going to try to add a YouTube infographic, I think. Hold on. Infographic. Usually, generally speaking, infographics are made by marketers, by people like myself or Neil Patel or Onyx Ingold or Dory Friend. Is basically information, facts and figures, etc. And they will usually let you use it for free in exchange for a link back to their site. Sometimes they don't care. They just like people seeing it. They like the exposure. So in this case, what I'm doing here is I'm trying to find something that looks nice. So what year is this from? I want to find something that looks nice and it gives good information. And generally speaking, guys, people will more often share a post that has either pictures or videos. So this is actually a pretty good looking infographic, and it's simple. They've got their brand at the bottom here, so they might want us to link to their site in order to use this. I'm okay doing that. So let me translate that to English from whatever language that was. All right, I don't care about the original. They've got it up here. Basically, I'm trying to find an embed page that tells me where I can, if I can embed this somehow. Because that's talking about Australian, so that's really not relevant to me being an American here. I want to find something more just general or not country specific. Okay, that was a different one, so here it is again. Infographic. Give me a second here. Again, I'm doing this stuff live. I haven't pre-researched this at all. I like that. The most disliked person on YouTube, Justin Bieber. I'm okay with that. Becca Black from Friday. But it basically, even if people don't read it, it gives your site more of a fun and professional look. So every minute, 24 hours of videos uploaded. This says 300 hours. This might be a little bit old. So I want to find a, you want to make sure this doesn't contradict the information on your own site. And 300 hours of video is accurate according to YouTube's statistics site. And that's 2012. So I'm going to try to find something more relevant here. Yeah, Bieber's a bum. Yes, he is. And I'm going to try to find something for 2015. This might work. I'm going to go ahead and visit their page. And again, what I'm looking for, guys, is I'm looking to make sure this is something I can share. And usually people will create these so you can share them because they want to get traffic back to their site. So I'm going to click on this and see if they give that to me. See, they are not giving me a link for that. So here is what I am going to do. And this is probably not 100% legal. I'm just counting on the fact that they're probably an awesome person that would not mind a backlink to their website. I'm going to download this infographic, but I'm also going to make sure I link back to their website and make it an obvious link. So let's see here. So I want to find maybe YouTube Statistics 2015. So I'm going to right-click and save image as. And I'm going to name this according to a relevant keyword. So in this case, I'm going to name it YouTube Statistics 2015 and click on Save. Let me see how big that file is. Hold on a second, please. Let's see, YouTube Statistics. Where did it go? There it is. 3.43 megabytes. That's pretty damn big. So I don't think I can use it like that. There's a site I use called Compress Now, and it can compress a PNG image and make it fairly small. I think I showed you guys this last week, so I'm going to drop it in there. Yeah, you know, that's still too big. It's a great site, but you know what? Even compressed to 96% is probably going to look like crap, and it's still way too big. So in this case, I want to find a company that lets me hot link it from their site, meaning they give me an embed code to use. So I don't have to have a large image on my site. So because I don't use any fancy hosting yet. I know I should be, but I basically want to see if I can have something that's linked to on their site, not mine. So so give me a moment here. I promise I'll find something fairly quickly here. YouTube is too big. But anyways, I hope you guys see that this is also kind of the process I go through it with every post I do. Hey, if it's taking me a while to do, you know, hey, at least you guys are learning too, I hope. All right, Pixability 2015. Let's go ahead and visit this page right here. All right, Pixability. Okay, well, this site embedded it. Tube filter. It says Pixability. So, and again, I want to be careful that I use the appropriate link. So in this case, it's a marketing company called Pixability. Let's see, YouTube. Here we are, top 100 global brands. Top brands on YouTube. Okay, so they let you download a copy of it, which is nice. So I'll tell you what, guys, they let you download a copy of it. Right here, there's a link to download a high-res image. They know you're going to use it. So just to be safe, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this again. I am going to go ahead and use their image, assuming it's not ridiculously huge. Because I don't want to spend time photoshopping and compressing it, and it takes too much time. And then I'm going to link to their site. So give me a minute here, please. And by the way, Drew's asking if I write my own posts or if I outsource. Both, usually. This post I outsource from iWriter. But my larger ones, like the one on Kanye West, for example, I wrote it myself. It took me about a week to do, but I wanted to make sure that it was super freaking fantastic. So give me a second here. I think it was this one here, number 2. Okay, so we can compress it a bit smaller. Let's see how it looks. Beautiful. It looks like it'll work out nicely. So I'm going to save it again as YouTube Statistics 2015. And I'm going to add this right here. And I promise, guys, this will make sense in a minute what I'm doing here. So I'm going to click on Add Media. And I'm just going to simply drag that bad boy up there. And I'm going to make my title tag relevant, YouTube Statistics for 2015. I'm going to actually, not my title, my alt text and my description. Title usually gets taken away the first time because it's just a hover over. It hovers. If you hover the mouse over the image, it shows the title. You don't always need to use that. So I kind of copy there out of habit. So something else I'll do is I will say link to. You can link to media file. I usually link to none, and I click on insert in the post. That's looking good. It's a little bit blurry, so I'm going to shrink it down a little bit in hopes that people don't notice. Now again, let's preview and see how that looks. Does that look okay? Or is it too? Did I take away too much of the color? Or does it look okay? What do you guys think? Looks good. Looks fine. I'm okay with okay for now. So most of you guys seem to like it, so I'm okay with that. Thank you. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and link to Pixability.com. They're a marketing company, it seems. They're going to love the backlink. They did make that available for me. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to edit the image. And I'm going to add a caption. What is it? How do I spell that? Pixability. My bad. I was saying Pixability like rockabilly. Pixability. All right, thanks to Pixability for the amazing infographic, and I'm going to click on Update. It's going to add the text right down here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply highlight that text right there. I'm going to click on Insert Link, and I'm going to link again to their site, ensuring it opens up in a new window. So let's preview it and see how it looks. And yeah, it is better to do your own, guys, if you have the resources to do so. Usually I'm too lazy to do that, and it's too time-consuming for me. I've never done one. But I mean, what do you think? I mean, again, I can probably tweak it and make it brighter later, but I think it's looking pretty good, though. What do you guys think of the post? Is it looking better? Is it looking like something more that you would want to read and engage with? Awesome. Yeah, it fits in nicely. It looks good. I'm not even done yet. Not even close to being thank you, guys. And this is exactly what I do with every single post. I might just take a half an hour to an hour to write an amazing post, but I might spend a week editing and making it look amazing. I might make it, spend hours and hours to make it look professional, because again, you want to keep people engaged and on your site. Let's see here. I'm going to space things out a little bit more. And yeah, Kathy, correct. Kathy's asking about the Facebook newsfeed. If you do share a post on Facebook, Kathy, like this post, for example, or even a Facebook ad, Facebook will resize the image for you automatically. How many posts do I do per week? Ideally, Helene, in a perfect world, I would do a post five times a week. There's been some times when I have done that. Usually I'll try to get at least 1 to 3 posts per week, although I skip a few weeks sometimes. But yeah, man, Tim said, yeah, the image breaks it up so it doesn't look so long and boring. Exactly, that's the whole point, Tim. I mean, you don't want people to read this at like the Sunday, Sunday paper, like the Wall Street Journal. You don't want people just to get bored of it and leave right away. So you want to break things up nicely with pictures, with internal links, with content, etc. Now, in this example, this is kind of silly, but I say if you're selling a baby stroller, for example, and I actually did one blog post on my site just for the fun of it to see if I could rank for, I think it's something like Badass Baby Stroller or something like that. But I've actually got a link on my site. Yeah, high-tech baby stroller, just for the fun of it. And this is my only non-related marketing post on here. Just while I was playing around. But essentially, you want to add internal links to other posts on your site that are relevant to what you're talking about. So here's an example for Instagram. Right here, I can either link to Instagram.com, or if I've got a blog post already on Instagram, I can do a search. If you look at right here at the bottom where it says search, I can type in a keyword, and it's going to look for any keyword, any post I've made on the site that's mentioned that particular phrase. So in this case, Insta Ninjas was a product review I did based around Instagram. So I'm actually going to link internally to that. And again, what this does, guys, this also passes the authority around my site. It helps keep the user experience or the user engagement up. It keeps the bounce rate down, meaning people don't leave your site right away. And again, it's also going to help me for an SEO perspective. If you look at any Wikipedia page, what do? They link internally all the time. And that makes a huge difference. So, and yeah, Drew is asking, if you publish your post, is it okay to go back and change it from an SEO perspective? Yeah, Drew, I might do that 20 or 30 times sometimes, by all means. I update my posts constantly. Not all of them, but when I'm working on one. Yeah, great question. Let's see, that one's okay by itself. And again, I can even do something else. I can even, make these top text, my H3 text, bright red. In fact, I think I will. It's going to keep people's... red usually draws the eyes. And again, what I'm also doing with this is I'm also breaking things up a bit, so it's not just row after row of black and white. It's not just black text. And so again, that's going to help break things up a bit. Let's see, optimizing video tags. Although tags aren't important, they obviously help some. Include a few keywords in your video tags. What I might actually do here is I can actually go to one of my own YouTube channels and see what the tags look like. So in this case, I'm going to go to youtube.com. And let's go ahead and take a look at my channel. Let's find one of my posts. Give me a moment here, please. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to search on my own channel. Give me a second here. And I'll show you what I'm doing. It's going to make sense, I promise. I'm going to edit it here. And this is the YouTube tag. So I'm going to go ahead and this is something you guys might not have, but I use a program called, what the hell is it called? I just forgot the name of it. I'll show you in a second, though. Snagit, there we go. It's called Snagit. It's a screen capture tool. It's like $40 or so. You can also use the Windows snipping tool if you have Windows 7 or 8, which works nicely. You can take screenshots like that as well. But I use Snagit because you can do quick edits on here as well. So I'm going to simply add a relevant thing there. I'm going to type some text, maybe right here. I'm going to add a couple of arrows right there. And this is also me creating new content. It's creating original content. I don't need those down there, so I'm going to shorten that a bit. There we are. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and save this image as YouTube tags. And I just made a 100% unique image. Let's see how big it is now. Where did I save it? Was it downloads maybe? I'm still getting used to Windows 10. I like it for the most part though. There we are. So it's 35 kilobytes, which is not bad. I'm just going to recompress in the JPEG for 13.99 kilobytes. I'm going to resave it as YouTube tags once again. And I'm going to add this right here. And again, guys, what I'm doing is I'm taking the time to show people exactly how things work. I want to make sure I show people what I'm talking about if they might not know. I'm going to link to none so it doesn't open up a new chat or anything. And there we are. I've got another relevant image that shows what I'm talking about. A little bit blurry though. Hold on a second. Let me try less of a compression rate. That's still pretty good. Hold on a second. That's better. I'm actually going to resave it with a slightly larger image size because it's still not that big. I don't like that one. Oops. Actually, I forgot I can click on replace. My bad. So I'm going to replace. And let's go ahead and re-drag that up in there. We're going to replace that image now. And again, guys, since I'm kind of doing a bit of a how-to type of post here, excuse me, I want to give people relevant information that talks about what I'm doing. And yeah, Jenny, correct. I will often, if it's a unique image I have, I don't want someone to steal, I'll usually put my name on it. And on this example, of course, that's just so people know what that is. If someone wants to take this, they're more than welcome to. But if I've got, for example, a screenshot of software or a members area, for example, that maybe not everyone else has access to, I might add, basically Jenny was asking if I do this on my launch jacking reviews, so no one takes my images, and basically, yeah, I'll add simply my name on top of the image if it's my own picture, so no one can take it. My pleasure. Let's see how this looks now. Hey, what do you guys think? Looking better? And again, I'll tell you guys, if I did this from start to end, without talking and showing you guys how to do this might only take me maybe 10 or 15 minutes to do the first run. It doesn't take an hour or two to do. I might go back and edit time and time again, but this whole process might take me between 10 and 15 minutes. But I promise it's worth it. It's going to keep people on your site longer. They're going to think of you as more of a professional, and they're going to more likely share it. They're going to more likely to come back to your site again. Optimize your title and description. In fact, I'm going to do the exact same thing again here. I'm going to do another image. So I'm going to stretch this out a little bit here. And I'm going to add, video title, so people again know exactly what I'm talking about. And video description. What do you guys think? Making sense so far? Awesome, I love it. I love when I make sense. Let's see how big that one is. YouTube. Not bad. So I'm just going to keep it around the same size so the text doesn't get too blurry. And so again, now you don't usually have to add this many images. It really depends on the post itself. Usually when I do a new blog post, I'll try to add at least 2 images, if not 3. But it really depends on how big the blog post is. Oops. YouTube. I'm going to add it to all text and description. I'm going to click on media file none and click insert in the post. W is asking how I add Jeff Linney on the image. I do the exact same thing, W. I just add, I use Paint or Photoshop or even Snag, and I just add text like I showed you guys right now. And all I do is I just say review from jefflinney.com, for example. Make sense? Nothing fancy at all. I just show people, I make a note that says, let's take a look at build my list review. Hold on. Just a unique image I took. Here, look, build my list review by jefflinney.com. I got it the 3 times to make it hard to Photoshop out. That's all, nothing fancy. I just want to make sure people don't steal my image for their own reviews. It still happens sometimes, but it's easier to get their reviews deleted and get them banned from, well, it depends on where they're doing it. Oops, I added too many things at once there. Hold on. Alright, so let's see. Rankings of YouTube video depends on the title and description. I'm going to try to space things out a bit more. Here's something else I'm going to do a bit differently. I'm going to add a couple bullet points to space things out a little more. Simple, right? But again, people like bullet points. So yeah, don't just add bullet points for the sake of adding them. Add them when it's relevant, when you can actually use them. Let's see how this looks. And my pleasure. Happy to help. So I'm going to probably fix that later. It's not as sharp as I think it could be. So I might actually fix that image later. Do I use any other editor or plugin to lay out bullets and tabs? Not really, no, Kathy. I mean, my theme does have an editor that does some fancy stuff. I usually don't use it, though. I do for a few things, but everything here I'm just using the basic WordPress features for. I mean, granted, I'm using Snagit for the images. But everything else here you can do yourself. And in fact, if you have Windows 7, I mean, again, you can use the Windows snipping tool. You can go to YouTube and you can use the snipping tool if you're on a PC and do the same thing. And you can copy this. You can open up Paint on your computer. It's an extra 2 or 3 steps. You can paste your image in here. Well, that's paint.net, but I'll fix it later. But you can paste your image and edit it there. So pretty easy. No idea, Sal. I don't use a Mac, unfortunately. Any Mac users out there know of any Mac screen capture tools by chance that are maybe free or come built into Mac? I've used a Mac, Sal, like 10 times in my life. I barely know how to power a Mac on, so. Okay, there is Snagit for Mac. Thank you, Annie. So there is Snagit for Mac. I believe you can also get a free 30-day trial for Snagit for both Mac and PC. So Thal, how do you prevent people from copying text on your blog? So Thal, what nationality is your name? Is that Thai or Cambodian, or am I way off? Just out of curiosity. Random question. Okay, Khmer. Okay, Khmer. My wife's Khmer. So Jiripsu. I thought it was Khmer. Where do you live, Sothar? Are you in Long Beach? Are you in Cambodia? Or whereabouts are you? I think it's actually my first Cambodian on a webinar. So Australia. Okay. Nice. Yeah, my wife and I went to Cambodia for our honeymoon. It was her first time there 2.5 years ago. We went to Phnom Penh, Siem Reap, saw the whole country. Beautiful. I loved it down there. Admit it, you're impressed. I not only knew your name was Khmer, but I even can pronounce Khmer, not Khmer. Awesome. All right, so let me get back on topic here. I got excited for a second there. Yeah, I feel like I'm half Cambodian through marriage anyways, so. All right. So let's see here. Actually, so it's all random. If you, I'm sure you've probably been to the Stilted Villages, but if you go to YouTube and Google Kampong Pluk, I think my video is #1. I got a video tour I did when I was there. If you want to watch it, I think I'm #1 or 2 for the city name in YouTube. That's amazing, guys. Off topic, I know, but there's villages in Cambodia that are on stilts, and they're fishing villages, and in the wet season, the water rises up, I don't know, 20, 30 feet, whatever that is in meters, and it's completely dry in the dry season. It's fantastic. It's a bit of a tourist trap now, but it was beautiful. Well, Kampong Pluk, let's see how I spell it. Hold on. You got me curious now. Hold on. If I can even spell it correctly. Here we are. Kampong Pluk. Yeah, here we are. Off topic, I know, but this is it was fun though. This is the video I did when I was there. And see, guys, it's completely dry back in there. And I know it's completely off topic. I'll finish, I promise. But a bunch of Aussies on the tour. They were awesome people, great drinkers. But yeah, this is me in Cambodia a couple years ago. A lot of fun. But anyways, back on topic. I'm sorry, I get distracted easily. Let's go ahead and finish this bad boy. Let's see here. So, post your videos on social media. In this case, I could probably add some various social media icons. I think it's starting to look pretty good, though. Reliving my honeymoon, yeah. And we got a baby on the way in a few months, 2.5 months, so. We've already got a cruise booked with the baby and my wife's parents for next year. Honeymoon is over, yeah. And thank you, yeah. And someone said, and Carlos said you can actually find in Mac and utilities. And it's just a screen capture tool, Carlos? Beautiful, thank you. So for you Mac users, Sothal, for example, if you go to Mac to utilities, there should be a screen capture tool there. And again, I don't use a Mac. I don't really know how to even navigate there, but that's what Carlos is sharing with us. So that's awesome. Thank you, Carlos. Excuse me. Let's see, social media. So let's try this. I'm going to try to find another infographic I can use. Or just something random like this. Share to social media. Here we are. MySpace, maybe not so relevant anymore, but I just want to find something clever I can use and get away with using since this is something someone probably built in Photoshop or something. How big is this image? That's way too big. That's a screensaver. A background, desktop background. Thank you, Linda. Actually, for you Mac people, Linda is saying that you can use Option Control 3 at the same time the screen capture on the Mac. Thank you, Linda. So for you Mac folks, write that down, Option Control 3. With the Mac, I'd be happy to demonstrate it, but again, I don't know how to use a Mac, and nor am I on one. So I'm just going to grab a random social media image here. And again, I mean, this is something that's not someone's actual copyrighted photo. You can't edit. You might be able to screen capture and maybe open it up in whatever Mac's version of Paint is. I'm sure there's got to be some photo editing tool you can use on there. And then Paul says you can use 4 instead of 3 to do selective screen capture instead of full screen. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. So 3 for full screen or 4 for selective, like what I showed you guys. So in this case, again, I never ever grab random images, but these are just things someone made that are various different logos. So I'll just clarify, I don't know how legal this is, but I would imagine this would be much better than taking an image, someone's stock image, for example, they use for their site. So let's go ahead and take a look at the file size for that one. 130. Okay, we're going to compress that bad boy as well. We're going to resave this as top social media sites. And again, guys, what I'm trying to do is give people some relevant, awesome information here. and I'm trying to use images as well to keep them focused on what I'm talking about and not letting them get bored. You want to change things up. You want to make it look colorful. You want to make it look impressive. And even if they don't read your content, you might even get shares before people even read your content. And we're going to, again, insert that. You can simply click on the mouse. You can drag it around like that. Leave it the original size. And again, I'm probably adding more images than I usually do. I'm just showing you really what you would want to do if you want to make it look, phenomenal and fantastic. And then if you want something else you can even do is you can maybe even add a video. Now, if you don't have a video yourself, you can try to find one on YouTube that you can embed and share. Now, here's the thing. You want to be careful with this. You want to make sure. See, I haven't searched this yet. You want to make sure that it's a high-quality video and that it's not going to really take them away from your site. I want to find something more relevant. So Ryan Stewart, I actually know him. I don't know him. I know his name. He's a good marketer, a smart guy. So I'm going to take a look at his video. I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but I'm going to skip through it. So, I mean, by the looks of it, he's probably given pretty good information here. He does have a banner at the bottom for his own site, which is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Share. Now watch this. I'm going to click on Show More at the bottom here. Oops, hold on. I'm going to click on Embed. I'm going to click on Embed and Show More. I can do things like show suggested videos. I can show player controls. I can show video title and player actions. So in this case, I'm going to try to keep people on my site and not clicking on this. If they're watching the video and if they click on this top link here, it'll take them to YouTube. So I'm going to remove that feature. And I believe somebody was asking about how you would embed HTML. This is one example of this. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this code right here. Let's see here. Hold on a second. And now I'm going to add this. If you just add it here like this, it's not going to work. You want to go ahead and, if you want to keep track of where you want to add it, because right here, for example, it might be hard to find. So silly as it is, I do something like this. Video. And I find it in here. And I paste my code right there, then I go back to it. So now my video is going to be embedded. So again, it's not even my video, but I'm going to see if I can reference it or make this look halfway decent still. And again, videos are going to keep your engagement rate up. It's going to keep people on your site. And I'll show you guys how I did that in a second here. Basically, to get that, guys, if you click on Share, you guys see the mouse right there where it says Share? You want to click on, you want to click on Share right here. See, it opens and closes. Click on Share. And then click on Embed right there. And then if you want to click on Show More right there, don't forget this. You want to click on Embed. In fact, hold on a second here. I'm going to click on Share, Embed, and Show More. And you can get the options from there. And again, I just usually remove everything, leaving only the player controls. And so we're going to go ahead and add this. We're going to preview it again and see how it looks. Now, ideally, I would want to make my own video, but in this case, I'm just going to share someone else's because it's relevant. And if you're doing a dating site, for example, or a weight loss site, you might find something equally awesome. So in this case, it is kind of heavily branding this guy with his name on the thumbnail. So I don't know if I'm going to keep that or not because it's branding him and not myself. But I mean, what do you think, guys? If you look at this entire post now compared to how it was, 55 minutes ago, I mean, what do you think? How does it look? Does it look like it's good content? Does it look like does it look engaging? Does it want to keep you, yeah, Joe said eye-catching. Yeah, I see engaging. I see sexier. I love it. And Jenny loves it too. Thank you. And yeah, Maria said it's much better. And funny, it does not look as long as it did before. Exactly, Maria. That's the whole point. If you space things up a bit, people are going to read through the whole thing before they even know it. Because it's engaging, it's eye-catching, it's going to be easier to read. You know, people can scan through to look at the certain points they want to read about. And even if they don't read the whole thing, they can scan through. Okay, relevant keywords, optimize video tags, optimize. Oh, I didn't know that one. Let me read about that. So they can get the information a lot easier, which is going to make them. It's going to keep them coming back for more. I do want to space things out a little bit more down here. I think that's pretty good. YouTube is able to receive authority video out of call to action button. Let's space that a little bit. I'm going to bold that because it's awesome information. Alexa, the site I used to compress is compressnow.com. You check the chat box, I gave it to you just now. Compressnow.com. The word counter, this is built into obviously WordPress. It shows word count 751. Usually, guys, the longer the better. I used to do post about 500 words only. Now I tell my writer minimum 700 words. If you want to do 5,000, go ahead. I'll pay you more for it. So usually, most of the posts I have my writer do will be between 700 and 2,000 words. Although the more is better usually. So, anyways, a few more things. I've obviously optimized the content now. Next up, I want to go ahead and optimize, the actual title tag and description tag. Now, for new sites, I do recommend Yoast SEO. I'm not using that in this case. I'm using a Platinum SEO pack because I don't want to have to manually change everything in the Yoast. So I'm going to add my title tag right there. Yeah, something compelling. I want to get people to click on my site. So, check out these super easy YouTube ranking tips. It seriously can't be this easy. And so again, these are going to be the first things people see in the search results. Once you get ranked, you want to make sure that it's compelling and brings people in there. For those asking about Platinum SEO Pack, make sure you go through the basics of the basic SEO training videos in POE. It's basically just an SEO plugin for adding title tags and description tags. I do use Yoast, and I do recommend Yoast on any new site you're going to do. But this is just what I have because I've had this site for 5 or 6 years now, and I simply haven't had the time to go through and manually change everything over to Yoast. Otherwise, I would be using that. Next up is the tags field down here. You can add irrelevant tags. So, for example, how to rank on YouTube, ranking YouTube videos, ranking YouTube videos in 2015. It's going to basically add a few keywords, if you will. Google and WordPress identify other relevant posts on your site, and it's going to show them more what you're about. So if you do, I don't always add these, but if you want to add them, try to add at least maybe 3, if not 5 or 6. And these are different than the keyword tags, which are no longer used. But I do usually add a few tags, although not always. So let's go ahead and preview this bad boy one more time and see how it looks. Let me take a sip of my beer while I'm doing this. And again, the only thing I don't like here is that video with that big thumbnail. It's a great video there, but it's really branding for Ryan. Let me see if I can find something real quick here that's not branded for someone else. If you'll give me just a moment, please. See, this is relevant, but this is more about the tags. Let me see if I mentioned tags on here. Hold on a second. Video tags. Yes, I did. So tell you what, in this case, guys, I'm not going to add the video towards the top. I don't, as much as Ryan's video is awesome, I want to try to keep this branded to myself and not give someone else that obvious a props. So I'm actually going to go ahead and use this video for tags right here. Actually, hold on, maybe not. YouTube Rockstar. Let me see what this is about. Hold on. No, it's just an advertisement for his stuff. But again, what a video is going to do, guys, I don't add videos to every post, although you want to get in that habit, though. It's just going to, again, Google loves videos. It's going to make your post more engaging. It's going to keep people longer on your site. So let me check out this video here. It's obviously branded to that site, but he looks friendly enough. Let's try this one here. It's only 6 minutes long. So again, I'm going to go ahead and click on the embed link right there. I'm going to click on show more. Let's just try this one real quick here instead. In this case, I'm going to remove that image. I'm going to add the video. Let's see how that looks. I'm going to mention, check out the video. I'm going to bold that. Let's go ahead and preview this one last time. And yeah, I did actually, if you look right here, it shows there's an option to show suggested videos when the video finishes. I did uncheck that box, so it's not going to show suggested videos at the end. So here we are. See, that looks better, right? It has his website brand name, videocreators.tv. People can click play. They can watch this on my site. There's no link to click off of it. I mean, they could click on the YouTube link right there, which is fine as well, but it's giving me free content. It's giving him a link to his video, which is awesome. So yeah, what do you guys think of this? I mean, I think it looks pretty fantastic. What do you guys think? Anything you would do differently? Anything you like or don't like about it? I think I did a pretty decent job on this. Oh, you guys are too kind. I love it. Thank you. So here's what I'm going to do. The best time to post a new blog post is in the morning. And what I do is I will usually post a blog post in the morning and then email my list about it to bring more traffic to my site. So in this case, I'm going to click right over here where it says publish immediately and click on edit. I'm going to publish this tomorrow morning at 8:10 in the morning. And I'm going to click on schedule. So now automatically, even if I'm still sleeping, which I won't be, my post is my page is going to get or my post is going to get pushed onto my site. And it's going to look exactly like this now. That's my local time, correct? 8:10 Pacific time. And you can set the time zone in the settings for WordPress as well. So make sure you do that. I think this looks pretty damn good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it post tomorrow. Any comments I get, I'm going to respond to as well, as long as they're not spam comments, obviously. And this should be good for probably a few hundred visits to my site tomorrow morning and over the next couple of days as well. So guys, that's it. It's simple. And again, that entire process, it took me an hour and 5 minutes now. If I did this entire thing without explaining step by step, I'm going to fix a couple things. If I did this entire thing, it would take me maybe 15, 20 minutes, if that. I do want to space a few more things out. Where did they go? I try to space things out quite a bit myself. Keeps it less cluttered and easier to read. So guys, do you have any questions? And we're about 5 minutes over, obviously, but I've just been enjoying doing this one. You guys have any questions, comments, concerns regarding what I covered tonight? Or this morning for our European folks? Yeah, Shirley. Shirley's asking, what do I do? I email it to my followers. Now, Shirley, I've been doing marketing for a while now. I've been doing email marketing, meaning building my own email list, probably since 2009, maybe 2010 or so. So what I will do is I will email my list tomorrow, saying, hey, check out this blog post I've got. That's all I do. Maria, the FAQ webinars are done. That was only more during the launch for new people when they first got started. Although there is still going to be one more webinar next week for the beginners, which of course is this one right now I'm doing. I'll be here again next week, same bat time, same bat channel. I don't believe I published last week's webinar yet. That's my bad. But I will get last week's and this one published tomorrow as well. So you guys can watch this replay if you like. But yeah, if you want to look for this on my site tomorrow, it'll be there. You'll see exactly what I did live. And you can be like, hey, I saw that guy build that. Let's just take a look one more time here. And yeah, Linda's asking for iWriter. Do they just send you plain text? Yeah, they do not do images for you. They just send you plain text. And so again, what I started with, Linda, that plain text I had at the very beginning was what I got from iWriter. So this is written by a guy in India who I use a lot for a lot of my content. He does an amazing job. I think this looks pretty damn good. I'm pretty happy with this one. So anyways, folks, hey, this is being recorded, of course, so we will have a replay for you guys live. Thank you guys so much for coming. You guys are amazing. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed going over it. Again, this is not just me saying do as I say, not as I do. This is me saying do as I do it because it works, and I do it every single day. So guys, if you have any more questions, feel free to tag me on Facebook or on the forum. Other than that, I'm going to finish this beer, grab myself some dinner. So you guys have an amazing evening, morning, wonderful week, wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Thank you very much.